You hear that noise? I bet you do, because there is a torrent of water flowing right behind you guys. I'm here once again at the famous Steph Falls, a 3-story waterfall. I'm here to give you an updated look and revisit at this one-of-a-kind place. You may remember that name because I was here before and filmed a person I knew at the time jumping off the Steph Falls down into the depths of the water. If you haven't seen that video, it will pop up here in the corner. You can also find it down below in the description. But as I spin around, you'll see what was just behind you guys is now behind me. Steph Falls. I'm not going to be jumping off it, of course. I will give you some different views. And as you can see, I am joined by Alan from Revenge of the Apocalypse. This is his first time seeing it. So you want to be sure to check out his video to see his take on it. But we're going to give you some views of it. And I am wearing my water shoes. I'm feeling a little bit daring to at least walk across, or at least out to that middle piece out there. Something I haven't done in the past. So come along with me as we check out Steph Falls. Alan got himself a handy dandy new selfie stick that's about 25 feet long. He's got the GoPro attached to it.
You're gonna get one.
Now we have had some pretty substantial downpours and thunderstorms the last 2 days, so the water is not only murky, but it is flowing pretty fast as it's coming from the mountains. But here it is. And the bottom is all the way down there. And when it goes off into some like pools of water and some rapids, there's actually some pretty deep holes there. I have not yet to be in them myself, but I remember I was here before. The water is pretty clear and you can't see the bottom. So in the future, you know, maybe tempted to do some snorkeling there. But this is pretty neat. And we got crystal clear blue skies. A little bit humid now, I am sweating a bit. But we're getting a kind of an overspray too, which feels kind of nice. And I did bring my drone as well, so we may or may not get some drone footage, but I think we should take a walk across there and take you at least to that point. So let's do that next. Now there is a little bit of a current from the moving water, so I'm not going to stand on the edge. I don't know how slick it is. I don't want to get slipped off. But the water is cold. But on a hot day like today, it does feel pretty good. So you can see my progress. Alan is wearing Crocs, but he has jeans on. Oh, he's hiking up the jeans. I think he's coming out too. The water, like I said, is murky, but I can still see the bottom because it is shallow here. Give you guys a little look over the edge here. Yeah, the rock is kind of slick, so I'm not going any closer. I'm just going to reach out with my hand. And make sure you stay like inward because that's kind of slick. Now for this thing here, I have heard a few different comments on it from my previous video. I don't exactly know what's right, what's not, but I heard there's something to do with a type of mill that was here. There may have potentially been a water wheel on it, which could kind of make sense. May have been some type of industry or something here as well, but people have given various suggestions or comments about what this is, but it's still left behind. And obviously it was something man-made, as is the dam here, the Steph Falls. There on the other side of it, there is a pipe coming out, and another pipe is almost resembles like conduit. This is like solid steel right there. And you can see the size of these bolts on here too. I mean, they're probably about the size of a half or silver dollar. Pretty nice shot here, almost in the dead center, pretty much. A lot of greenery. You can see the bridge in the distance. But I think we're gonna try to go maybe all the way across for most of the way. I don't want to push my luck with the current, but I'm taking it slow and steady, so we should be okay. Just make sure you do the same thing if you're following behind. This would be a nice little area of water to kind of float in, but obviously if you're not paying attention you could float right over the edge, which would be most likely deadly. I'm gonna try to give you one more view here. Oh, I can actually see a rainbow there too. I'm not sure if you can see it down there in the spray in the middle. Water is beautiful, but could also be very dangerous. So tell me, those of you who were daredevils back in the youngin' days, would you jump off something like this? I don't think I ever would. It's just the fear of getting hurt and landing in the wrong place would be too much to overcome. Like I said, I have no problem going underground, through caves, tunnels, mines. No hesitation at all. But something like this, even though I've seen people do it and they live to tell about it, I don't think I could. But if you think you would love to hear your thoughts on that. You guys probably can't see, but as I'm noticing, there's the concrete keeps going inwards. I don't know how far it goes, but there's a clearing here and some pieces of iron or metal, like rebar, that's exposed. So they did have poured concrete here. I just don't know how far back it does go though. Now, I was here before, water wasn't flowing over here. It was actually pretty bone dry, which gives you another way to get down there. But I don't think that's going to be possible today. Yeah, walking like this, I could feel the water trying to push my feet off. There's the farthest corner. And looking across, we made it safely. Oh, there's a vehicle up there. Oh, we're not jumping. It's not posted. I think we're okay. But that has a lot of water, a lot of power. I was actually down there before in those areas. When I was here last time, I was able to walk there. There was no water at the time. You can just see how much more water there is in comparison if you happen to watch that video. But I'm going to take a couple still photos, I think, just to kind of admire the views for a moment and make my way back. And we'll go down there just a little bit and give you one more vantage point. Now the one thing you need to be very careful of is after you come out of the water and your shoes or whatever you're wearing are wet, once these rocks get wet, they are very slick. It's almost like they're covered in a little invisible algae or slime, but you can easily slip and fall, which I've done in the past, but thankfully we were safe today. But we're gonna make our way down here just a little bit. Again, need to be careful because my feet are wet. I'm gonna do my best to safely get down to there, and I'll try to give you some views as long as nothing bad happens. Wish me luck.
One eternity later.
Alrighty, we made it. A couple little scary areas where I was starting to slide, but just took my time. Try to have 3 points of contact, and it's worthwhile because now I'm getting a fantastic spray of water, which is pulling me off, and we're getting a good backed away shot of the incredible falls. I can't go any closer, that is all wet. I know for a fact I would slide off and it would be no good. So we just have to admire from here. And of course, Alan's footage will show a bit more with his gigantic selfie stick. So that is the depths. Right there is where you have to jump, and it does go very deep. I know when my friend at the time jumped here, he didn't touch bottom, and he jumped from somewhere right around there, about 3/4 of the way up. Incredible amount of power though. And it does make sense that they have some type of water wheel or mill here to harness the power of the water. So that was Steph Falls. What do you think? We'd love to hear your feedback, like I said, whether you would ever jump this in your youngin' days, or if you think it's just kind of crazy if someone would ever do it today, or if it's just nice to admire like we did today. Feel free to leave your thoughts and feedback down below. But for me, coming here back again, although not a whole lot has changed, it is still a beautiful place. And it's not too hard to get to, just have to have the proper footwear. Alan did come in Crocs. He did have a little bit of a harder time with some of the terrain as it was kind of slippery, but other than that though, we came together. Hopefully he enjoyed it. I'll be on the lookout for his video, and I'm sure we'll be back sometime again in the future. Maybe I'll come back in the winter time to see if this gets frozen over. That might make for some pretty spectacular footage and photos. So if you do like the video, be sure to check out my nature playlist, where I do have similar videos of waterfalls, trails, beautiful landscapes. And lastly, I just want to say thanks so much for watching. As always, I'll see you in the next video.